together. Together.
Welcome to Satsang. Such a special day of the first day of the year. Full of new thoughts, new light. It's okay. It's okay. We all know that one. Full of new everything, new possibilities, new ways of being, ways of thinking, ways of living. If you've been waiting for an auspicious moment to begin something new, whether it's something as externally focused as I'm going to get in shape, I'm going to start exercising every day, I'm going to quit smoking, I'm going to become a vegetarian, or whether it's something deeply internal. I'm going to stop being so negative and judgmental. I'm going to start to meditate. Whatever it may be, this is a beautiful day to start. Every day is a beautiful day to start, but our minds, we love symbols, we love excuses. So I'm going to start on Monday. I will start on my birthday. I'll start, right? Why is Friday not a good day to start a diet? Who knows? But everybody, Monday. Okay. On my birthday, New Year's. It's just one of those opportunities. And there's nothing that makes Jan 1st on some energetic level more auspicious than December 30th or Jan 4th. But since our minds are so geared toward the calendar year, and also since our minds are so stuck in our habits and ways of being, we need all the extra energy we can get. So grab on to the energy of the new year and make a new pledge. We've been speaking so much the last few days about letting go of things that we're holding on to really be real, to be new. And this is a time, in addition to that, the deepest, highest level, which you'll get and then you'll lose it, and then you'll get it and then you'll lose it, and that's okay. It's the nature of being human. And then you'll get it for longer, and you'll lose it for shorter. But along the way, think about what specific actions, what specific habits also can I take this new year to really resolve to? Because to resolve to be new, to let go of the ego, to let go of the ignorance, that's where we're going. That's the highest, truest, deepest. But it's also really helpful to have stepping stones, milestones, points along the way of, oh yeah, I'm going to make sure to meditate every day. I'll make sure not to tell lies anymore. I'll make sure not to lose my temper anymore. Let go of the drugs, let go of the cigarettes, let go of whatever it may be. But here's the piece that's really important to remember. Your pledge, your resolution should be, if your life right now is here, let's say this is you here. So this is how you eat, how you live, what time of day you get up, your meditation practice, all of that. We're going to call it on this level. A lot of us, when we resolve way up here. So today, I roll out of bed at about 10 o'clock in the morning. I eat, bacon and eggs for breakfast and wash it down with a cup of coffee. No, not for real. Don't look at me. It's an example. Wash it down with a, cup of black coffee. And then I go out and I roll into my job where I basically cheat people for a living, exploit people for a living. Then at the end of the day, gather together with my friends and we drink ourselves into oblivion, have all sorts of meaningless sex and we waste our money. Okay, so that's one end of the spectrum in pretty much every area of life. And if we then say you are that person, and then you're inspired to change, and so we say, okay, from tomorrow, from today, it's New Year's, I'm going to get up every day at 4 a.m. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to eat a pure, vegan, organic, healthy, sattvic lifestyle. I'm only going to speak truth and live truth. Never touch any of the rest. Well, that's amazing. And yeah, you can do it. The power of grace is boundless. And if you doubt that you really can go from 10 a.m. waking up to 4 a.m. waking up, don't resolve it. Because here's the dilemma of what happens. And this is why our resolutions, if we're here, instead of pledging to be here, pledge to be here. Pledge something that you actually can do. Because here's the dilemma. If I pledge to do something, and I can't, I don't rather, not only am I missing out on doing whatever it is I've resolved to do, but even much more damaging, I develop an identity of someone who doesn't do what they resolve to do. That becomes my identity. So if I decide no more sweets, forget it, over. No more sugar, finished. And then maybe I'm used to having 10 Cokes a day. And maybe I only have one. But nonetheless, there it is. It's sugar. It's against what I've resolved. Or maybe I'm used to eating a whole cake and I actually only had a little taste of the frosting. Again, much better than where I was. But still not what I had resolved to. And then the problem is my mind, instead of being strong that yes, I'm making big changes, says, oh, Yeah, I didn't stick to it anyway. I'm just like that. I don't have any willpower. I don't have any discipline. I make all of these commitments. I don't follow them. Yeah, New Year's resolutions every year. By Jan 10th, over. And that becomes your whole way of self-identifying. And that's very dangerous. So rather than resolving here, if you don't think you can do it, resolve here. You get up at 10. Resolve for January, you're going to get up at 8. February, maybe 7. Maybe by December 31st of next year, you've worked yourself to 5:30, such that next year the 4 a.m. resolution might actually work. But if I get up at 10 and I resolve I'm going to get up at 4 and I hit that snooze button over and over until I finally just take the alarm and turn it off, you can make sure that not only am I not going to start getting up at 4, but I'm not even going to start getting up at 6 or 7. Because I've developed this way of thinking, oh, I can't do it. I don't follow what I say I'm going to do. And then whatever you decide to do in life, you already, even before you embark on it, even if it's something you can do, you've got that self-identity that says, nah, I don't have any willpower. So think carefully. Not what's your fantasy, not what do you want to do. Because that's the other way to fail at our resolutions. If it's not really something I want, it's not going to stick. I may get up at 4 once for you because you want me to. But after 3 or 4 days, it's not going to stick. I'm going to decide, she'll love me anyway. It's all right, he knows me. Don't worry, not a problem. I'll figure out some other way to make it up to you. I'll bake you cookies or something. I'll do something other than getting up at 4, which was what you wanted me to do. So it has to be something we want to do. So figure out, what is it? What's the extent of where your want is right now? And if it's not 4, but it's 6 or 7, resolve that. If it's not necessarily to cut out all sugar, no problem. Maybe you can begin with refined sugar. Or begin with cutting it out after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Whatever it may be, but start slowly. Such that actually you can do it. Because then your whole way of thinking about yourself is, I'm somebody who does what I resolve. And then when you up it and increase it, you actually end up being able to do even more. So be careful with what those resolutions are. Choose them wisely. Go within, really figure, what are they? And then do them. Whatever you've got to do, but do them. So that you give yourself that awareness, that identity of, I am someone who does what I say. I am someone with willpower. I am someone with discipline. I am someone with strength. Because that's the most important thing. So even if your resolution is not mammoth, that's okay. Start somewhere. Choose something and do it. And then February 1st is a very auspicious day also. You can resolve something else. March 1st, very auspicious. Resolve something else. Somewhere along the way your birthday is going to come. Resolve something else. But don't set yourself up for failure by resolving something, a mountain, that you're not going to be able to scale immediately. Because then you just feel guilty, feel badly, unnecessarily. So, before taking the questions that have come in advance, actually, I'll take one that's come in advance, and then we will open it up to any questions that anyone here may have. Should we let go of dreams and desires, such as finding love or the perfect job, that are not being fulfilled? And if so, doesn't that go against the philosophy of keep trying? So we've been discussing over the last few days this idea of letting go. Letting go of expectations. So he says, should we let go of our dreams and desires, finding love or the perfect job, that aren't being fulfilled? And if so, doesn't that go against the philosophy of keep trying? So here is where this beautiful distinction between desire and attachment to the desire being fulfilled comes. Do we let go of the desire? No. Desire is wonderful. Desire is a catalyst. A lot of times spiritually you'll hear, let go of all your desires. Well, that's not actually the highest, deepest teaching, because if I don't have a desire for moksha, for spiritual freedom, why meditate? If I don't have a desire to know the truth and live the truth, why give up all the drugs and alcohol and games and, the things that pull us out of the truth into falsehood? If I don't have a desire for truth, why let go of falsehood? If I don't have a desire for health, why not just eat French fries all day long? So desire itself is actually a beautiful catalyst. The dilemma comes, and this is true for the whole spectrum, from the most material to the most deeply spiritual. Our desire to live our lives as spiritually grounded as possible is what makes us fill the minutes of our day with meditation, with prayer, with service, with surrender, with giving. Because we know that's what connects us the most deeply, rather than just sitting in a movie theater watching, horror flicks all day long. So desire's the catalyst, desire's the energy. The dilemma comes when I am attached to that desire being fulfilled. So the desire for finding love or the perfect job, nothing wrong in that, wonderful. Love, of course, is something we all should have. But interestingly, finding love is something that's much more in our hands than we give ourselves credit for, because love is a magnet. If you give love, become love, be love, you're going to experience love. So we actually have that more in our hands. But even things like the perfect job, winning the lottery, whatever it may be, nothing wrong with the desire for it. The issue becomes when I am attached to that desire being fulfilled the way that I think it should be fulfilled. Because then every day I'm depressed, I'm frustrated that it hasn't happened yet. And then I lose myself. Puja Swamiji always says, expectation is the mother of frustration. So that's why we let go. Not of the desire. Hold on to it. It's beautiful. Let it catalyze you. But realize that the fulfillment of that desire is not in your hands. And therefore I can't be attached to it, because then I'm just setting myself up for misery. So when we speak about letting go of expectations, it doesn't mean become complacent. It doesn't mean throw in the towel of life. It doesn't mean give up the idea of whatever it is that you want that your life isn't full of right now. But it means two important pieces. It means, number one, I let go of the attachment to it being fulfilled how I think it should be fulfilled, such that every day I'm not living in frustration that it hasn't happened. And I'm not carrying this grudge against the people who aren't fulfilling my expectation or desire, or the universe or God. Whoever it is I'm expecting it from, I let go. But it also has another important component to it, which is to realize my own individual power. There's a beautiful saying, and I don't know who said it, but I love it, that is, whatever is missing from any situation is what you are not giving to that situation. And so if you're in a situation where you are desiring love and not finding it, ask yourself, where are you not giving love? Now, that doesn't mean that you can make any person of your choosing love you. That's not in your hands. But it certainly means that you can fill your life with love. Maybe from different people. But if you are feeling a lack of love, ask yourself, A, where am I not giving it? And B, why have I attached myself that it has to come from that person in this way in order for me to feel like it's love? What about all the other possibilities? Why have I set myself up for misery and failure? And then start giving love. Give it to that person as well, of course, but give it to others as well. Maybe that person won't respond the way you want them to, but you will absolutely find lots of love comes into your life. And then you think about, as the question asked, the perfect job. Well, there is no such thing as a perfect job. Just like there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. What there is perfection in you as an employee, or a boss, or a husband, or a wife, or a friend. How can you? Because that ultimately is what the point is. The point is not, oh God, give me the best boss in the world. Or, oh God, give me just the most obedient, brilliant employees in the world. Or, oh God, make the person, the one person I want to love me in my life, make them love me. It's not about that. It's about, oh God, make me the most grounded, anchored, honest, pure being I can be. You know, we worship the divine in the form of Lord Ram. And there's a whole scripture, the epic of the Ramayana, tells the whole story of Lord Ram's life. And I won't go into it here, but I mention it because it's a story full of strife, full of difficulty. But Lord Ram, and we of course have many, many manifestations of the divine. But Lord Ram is unique in that he is worshipped as not only the divine, but as the epitome of perfection in human form. And so from Lord Ram, we learn how to be the perfect son, the perfect husband, the perfect brother, the perfect king. That's what the story of the Ramayana actually teaches us. And it takes us through Ram's life, through treachery, betrayal, abandonment, jealousy, corruption, everything you could think of. Every situation where he would be really justified to say, what the hell is this? No, that's not fair. Forget it. But he doesn't. And he embodies and epitomizes perfection in these different roles. Each of the divine manifestations has got, so many different characteristics. But Lord Ram's unique characteristics are this: how to be the epitome of perfection in each role. So it's not about, and here's what's interesting. Remember that he's divine. He's an incarnation of God, which means theoretically he should have been able to just wave his magic wand and get what he wanted. Wave his magic wand and change the path. Get this one to change her mind. Get my father to stand up to her. Undo the whole karmic history that he had to do what she said. Undo everything. Rewind it all. Why not? You're God. Right? You can do anything. But he doesn't. Nowhere does he wave his magic God wand and say, all right, enough. Now you people are going to do what I say because I'm God. He uses that divinity to embody perfection. And so as we move through our lives, praying and hoping for a perfect relationship, a perfect job, a perfect this, perfect that, ask yourselves, is there an opportunity for me to more fully embody perfection in how I am moving through my roles in my life? Because that's actually what we're here for. Not to change the world. Use that power that you have. That power of truth. That divine power within you. Not about, oh God, give me the perfect job. But oh God, make me realize the perfection of this moment. And yes, if I want to change, sure, by all means. Because the teaching, here's what's important. The teaching is not a teaching of thou shalt be complacent. Thou shalt become a doormat. Thou shalt let the world walk all over you. Thou shalt never try. No, it's not about that. Absolutely. Co-create the world you want. But realize that perfection doesn't come from outside, it comes from within. That joy, that peace, that fulfillment doesn't come from outside, it comes from within. So if tomorrow you want a different job, find one. If tomorrow you want a different relationship, okay, find one. But realize all along the way that whether you're changing your brand of toothpaste, whether you're changing where you live, whether you're changing your job, this is all just outer adjustment. This is, as they say, rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, right? Because it's not looking at the deep core truth, which is that the only thing that is a problem is my mind that thinks there is a problem. And until and unless I address that boat is sinking. And yeah, the deck chairs could all be in a perfect order, but it's sinking anyway. And so nothing wrong with doing it, sure, why not? Have the deck chairs nicely lined up. But remember that the ultimate point is keep that boat from sinking. That boat of you. That boat of your truth, of your life. So every time you think there's a problem, ask yourself, who thinks there's a problem? Who's the I that thinks there's a problem here? Which indoctrinated I in me thinks there is a problem? And try to undo that inside so that you're able to experience wherever you are the perfection of the moment. And that then is what you carry with you into the next moment, and then the next moment, and then the next moment. So you carry that perfection with you, rather than expecting it to come from a certain situation. Yes. Namaste.
Before the question, I just want to say that this New Year retreat is probably one of my better decisions
Wonderful.
that I have made for the teachers, for the self-discipline, for the people I've met, the friends I've made, and of course your guidance.
Wonderful.
So I've been meaning to ask questions past 3 days, but I didn't get a chance. But somebody would ask a question very similar, and the answers would come. So, and today was no. You work every day, brick by brick, and then something would happen, and it falls down in one day, and you get into this self-destructive mode
Yes.
of everything, and then you realize that, oh, probably this is not the right way to do it, so you start building that brick again.
Yes.
And then you work day by day, and something would happen again. And this happens every time, maybe because there is an attached expectations from outside that comes, and you feel responsible to do it for somebody else. Like you said, there is you get a plane that to hell. Sometimes
Yes.
you don't get a choice. You get just one plane.
Yeah.
That's where it's going, and you don't get any other plane. So, how does it end for people who stay?
So, this is a very common dilemma. We start with a great new practice, spiritual practice, as he said, meditating every day, and you really get into it. Then 3 months down the line, something happens. Maybe something for someone else. Maybe you're taking care of someone else. You get out of the habit then. Then you find yourself back in this destructive pattern. Then eventually you catch yourself, you start over. And it keeps happening. So first of all, remember that the meditation technique, this aspect of I sit down, I close my eyes, I watch my breath, I chant my mantra, whatever it may be, whatever my technique may be, is a technique to get me somewhere. The point of meditation is where it takes you. And this is important because, yeah, things happen in life. And sometimes the particular daily patterns that we've set up for ourselves are no longer possible. Maybe something's happened. It's changed. Then I get out of the habit. But instead of thinking about it like that, what that means is that the impact of the meditation is not going very deep. If you did it only 3 days and got out of it, and the impact dissipated, that would make more sense. But if you've got 3 months of meditation under your belt, that impact should be longer lasting. And so what's important is to really remember, meditation is actually changing the nature of who I am. And so while you're doing it, realize it's not just about a technique. It's not just about something I'm doing. You know, we always say meditation is a noun, not a verb. It's who you are, not that which you're doing. And so as you embark on it again, find a way to make it really change you. So that even if your schedule gets disrupted, something happens, there's a loved one, okay, now in the mornings you're on dad duty. You are get the kids up, get them bathed, get them dressed, get them to school. Well, that was your meditation time. But now, for whatever reason in the family, now you're the one, dad on duty in the morning. Okay. So obviously the last thing you want to be doing is resenting the children, this beautiful opportunity to be with your children in the morning. The last thing you want to do is to be having your mind full of resentment that, oh my God, that was my meditation time. You want to realize, well, I can still be meditating. I can still be in a state of meditation even though my eyes are not closed, my legs are not crossed, and I'm not sitting in a dark room. Can I be chanting my mantra while I'm making them sandwiches? Can I be chanting my mantra while I'm giving them a bath? Whatever it may be. Can I be seeing the divine, the same divine I meditate upon? Can I see that divine in my child? Can my morning meditation become meditation upon the divine in this child who now is my responsibility for the morning? Let that be your meditation. There's a beautiful, beautiful story. Before I came to India, I studied Iyengar yoga and did a lot of that. And my teacher told a story about a question and answer time that they had with BKS Iyengar. And those of you familiar with the Iyengar tradition know that in Iyengar yoga, there's a very, very intense daily practice of asanas. Most Iyengar yoga practitioners, it's 45 minutes, an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's not, 9 minutes of sun salutations and you're done. It's much more of an intensive daily practice. And in one of the question and answers that my teacher was in, a woman asked Iyengarji, she said, I used to have this great practice every day, but now I've just given birth, and now I find that not only can't I practice an hour and a half, but I can't even get 5 minutes on the mat properly. And he said to her, now, being a mother is your yoga. And I love that story, particularly from the mouth of someone for whom that on the mat practice was essential. But the teaching is, it's not about your hamstrings. It's not about your thighs. It's not about your hips. It's about union. It's about yoga. And right now, find that union in being a mother. And so for you, rather than thinking about it as I've lost my meditation, and now I'm going to fall in that rut again, realize that the universe has just given you, for a temporary period of time, a different meditation technique. So typically my meditation technique is I sit down and I cross my legs and I turn off the lights and I light an oil lamp and I have my string of Rudraksh beads and I chant my japa. And then when I'm done chanting my japa, I set my mala down and I sit for my meditation. Well, okay, now my meditation looks like I get up, I have a quick shower while I'm chanting my japa while I'm brushing my teeth, go straight into my children's room, wake them up, seeing the divine in them like I wake up God in the temple, pull off their covers the way that we pull back the curtains in the temple in the morning, bathe them like we do Abhishek to God, whatever it may be. But whatever situation the universe has given us that is pulling us away, realize that that is just a different meditation technique. And use it such that in your mind it's not, I've lost my meditation. So instead of thinking of it as, oh God, now it's been a week since I've meditated, and allowing yourself to slip back into those bad habits because you've already got this thought pattern going of, oh, I've lost my meditation. Realize, oh, today I have a different form of meditation. Today I have the making lunch for the kids meditation. Today I have taking my mother to her physical therapy meditation. But then realize also that the day is very long. And just because the particular time of day that you have your practice no longer is available, well, do you get an hour for lunch? Does it take you really an hour to eat? Right? So can you eat in 25 minutes? Spend 35 minutes meditating? Probably the reverse order would be better. Don't allow yourself to fall into the rut. Don't allow the mind to go there by saying, oh, I've stopped meditating. No, you haven't. You've just stopped sitting in a dark room at a certain hour of the morning with your legs crossed and your eyes closed. But that wasn't the point of meditation anyway. The point was for it to change who you are so that when you move through the world, you are still meditating. But then, of course, as we all need to keep recharging our batteries, find another time. Get up half an hour earlier. So, okay, if you used to get up at 5:30 and meditate from 5:30 to 6, but now that's the time you have to be up and bathing because you have to wake the kids at 5:45. Okay, we'll get up at 5. Get up half an hour earlier. It's not going to make that much difference in how you feel with the amount of sleep. Just get up earlier. But figure out a way to not let that rut happen. Let that be your resolution. A no-rut year. So some days it'll be seated in the morning, eyes closed meditation. Some day it'll be making lunch meditation. Some day it'll be taking mom to physical therapy meditation. Some days it's meditation in the morning. Some days it's meditation at lunch hour. Meditation at night before I sleep. So many options. The minute that you realize or that you think you're slipping, at that moment, make yourself sit down and meditate. Could be 11 in the morning, could be 4 in the afternoon. And if you can't sit immediately, make sure that within the next, like as soon as you can, I mean, obviously if you're driving, don't close your eyes. But as soon as you get where you're going, park the car before you get out of the car. At least 5 minutes. It's not that you have to do your whole meditation practice then, but at least 5 minutes right then, start back the practice. The minute you realize that you've slipped. You've got the blessings of Mother Ganga. Started the year here, so it's a good sign. Wonderful.